Everyone, Shaked Bartal here, ladies and gentlemen. In case you haven't ordered by now, the Carolina Panthers, every this running back, CJ Anderson. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this right off the bat. I'm not a big fan of this move. I will get to that shortly. But let me say this also. CJ Anderson, what he tweeted 2 weeks ago, stating to a Carolina Panthers fan, you're not part of the organization, you're not part of the team, definitely made fans upset and uncomfortable. CJ Anderson tweeting about next season when he was a member of the Carolina Panthers didn't make fans unhappy. CJ Anderson, with his tweet, never mentioning keep pounding, didn't make fans happy about it. But you know what? CJ Anderson, just like anyone else, has the right to express his feeling. That is part of freedom of speech. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that if you haven't followed me, if you're not on Twitter, you probably don't know it. Maybe you do. Torrey Smith, a Carolina Panthers wide receiver. Yesterday, I found out he blocked me. For no reason. I didn't mention his name. I didn't tweet at him. I didn't hashtag his name. Nothing related to Torrey Smith yesterday, or the day before, or the day previous to that. Yet, he blocked me yesterday. Was I unhappy about it? You bet. Was I not pleased about this move? You bet. But do I have anything personal against Torrey Smith? Absolutely not. Not as a player and not as a person. Because at the end of the day, we all have a freedom of speech, freedom of expression. If you don't like my tweet, as much as I'm unhappy about it, it's your right to block me if you feel that you should. So, CJ Anderson tweeting to a fan, you're not part of the organization. And not tweeting keep pounding. And tweeting about next season. Again, part of the Constitution, freedom of speech. Now, I should mention Carolina Panthers on Twitter. And you should definitely follow them if you haven't done so already. On Twitter, the Carolina Panthers Twitter handle, the fans are the most part of this organization. Because yes, we don't practice. We don't go to the meeting, as CJ Anderson rightly said. But we cheer on the team, win, lose, or tie. On social media, at the game, at the sport bar, at practice, wherever the Panthers play or practice, we are there, always there. In the regular season and in the off season, we cheer on the Panthers. We bleed black and blue, and we will do so for life, forever. No question about that. So, CJ Anderson, you are wrong. We are part of the team, even though we don't go to a meeting, we don't put on the shoulder pad, we don't practice. We don't lift weight, but we are part of the team. Again, I didn't like that tweet by CJ Anderson, but it's life. People can say whatever they want. We just have to accept and live by it. That is part of the Constitution, freedom of speech. Now, the big reason why I didn't like the move that the Carolina Panthers released CJ Anderson has to do with the fact that I believe CJ Anderson is a pretty good running back. in my opinion, is a very good, underrated running back and pretty good player in the NFL in general. The Carolina Panthers have a great running back, Christian McCaffrey, who's been playing light out on offense. He's definitely a candidate for the MVP when the season is over, if he can stay healthy. And that is the big if, which is part of the reason why I don't like this move, releasing CJ Anderson. God forbid if Christian McCaffrey suffer any sort of an injury. The Carolina Panthers, now that they don't have CJ Anderson on the team, they will be in big, big time trouble. Now if you say, oh Shaked, Camus out of Spain is going to play, he's going to do a great job. I have no doubt Camus out of Spain is a good running back. However, since being drafted a couple of years ago, he hasn't stepped on the field that much. This year, he's been inactive in every game. Now, some might say the reason he's been inactive is because of CJ Anderson, and with CJ Anderson not a member of the Panthers, Camus out of Spain, will get opportunity. But even if he will get opportunity, CJ Anderson is still the better running back than Camus out of Spain. No question about that. CJ Anderson won a ring, Super Bowl ring, a couple of years ago. He played great throughout the season for the Denver Broncos. We saw, unfortunately, how well he played in the Super Bowl against our beloved Carolina Panthers. He's a pretty good running back for a reason. You don't find great running back, a pretty good running back like CJ Anderson on the street in free agency. It's difficult. So you don't make this type of a move unless you have a plan B. And in my opinion, the Carolina Panthers should have involved CJ Anderson much more in the offense from day one. Sure, Christian McCaffrey should be the number one running back. He owns the right. He played great. Sure, Christian McCaffrey should get most of the carries, most of the catches. But should CJ Anderson have been completely ignored and not been part of the offense? The answer is absolutely not. As a team, no matter how many points you score, no matter how many pretty good players you have, it's never a bad thing to have another pretty good player on the team. So, as long as the Carolina Panthers stay healthy, they can still make the playoff. They can still win the Super Bowl. I know everyone's saying how great the New Orleans Saints are and how dangerous LA Rams are, and in the AFC how great the Kansas City Chiefs are. And no question, these three teams in particular are playing pretty well. No question, the Saints are on fire at 8-1. But you know what, my friends? You don't win Super Bowl in the regular season. You can go undefeated. You can go 16-0. Does this mean that you're going to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely not. It's all about getting to the playoff and seeing what you can do in the playoff. So all the so-called experts who are already saying the Saints and the Chiefs and the Rams are favorite to win the Super Bowl, my answer is they are not. At the moment they are. But when you get to the playoff, let's all remember, it's one game. You lose one game, guess what? Your great season is over. You can go 15-1, 16-0, regular season. You get on field throughout the playoff. You host the second game in the playoff, AFC, NFC. You lose the game. Your season is over. Do you get a Super Bowl ring for going 16-0? The answer is absolutely not. So, the Carolina Panthers, in my opinion, as long as they can stay healthy, they can still make the playoff. Once you make the playoff, remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's one game at a time. You win, you survive. So, I wish the Carolina Panthers would have used CJ Anderson more on offense. No question about that. They didn't do it. We have to move on. We have to hope and pray that Christian McCaffrey doesn't suffer any sort of injury. And this is not a knock, by the way, on Cameron Spain. Again, he's a good running back. But in my own opinion, CJ Anderson was a better running back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to get your take on the move. Carolina Panthers releasing CJ Anderson. You can let me know on Twitter at my Twitter handle, very easy to remember, at SportsGuyShow. Or you can leave non-offensive comment right here below. And if the comment is non-offensive, your comment will be made public. And everyone will see it. And we can have a friendly debate. Get your take. If you agree with my take on the Carolina Panthers releasing CJ Anderson, or you don't, again, as long as you leave a comment that is not offensive, your comment will be posted. And with that, Shakir Bartal is signing off.